Hello everybody, I'm David Anderson. I'm a friend of Vicky Minahan, and Vicky's asked me to speak to you about my experience, my strength, hope and experience with regards to mental health and well-being. I'm no mental health guru. I've got no psychology degree, I've got no counselling qualifications. I'm a teacher, I've got a history degree and a PGCE. But you may or may not be asking, so what qualifies you to talk to us about mental health? And the only thing I can give is the only thing that qualifies me, in my humble opinion, is I know what it's like to feel absolutely worthless for the last 5 decades. Since a child right into my 50s, I've suffered massively with imposter syndrome. Whatever I do, I always think I'm going to get found out. And this culminated 3 years ago in what I can only describe as a mini breakdown. I was off work for 10 weeks with anxiety and depression. I never thought I'd be able to go back to work. I remember I said to him, I've got the most beautiful life. I've got a lovely wife, beautiful wife, two beautiful boys, lovely home, everything. I've got wonderful friends. I've got nothing to be depressed about, but I just felt empty inside, just that hole in the soul. And I've tried to fill it with everything, but nothing worked. And in the end, I was broken, absolutely broken. But today I'm not. Today I feel splendid, and today I said, like, I feel like my mental health is almost like my armour. It's like my badge of honour. It's my shield, and it protects me. And the only way it protects me is because I give it to other people, and I try my best to. I climbed out of the hole, and for those that are in it, you can either throw in a rope and get them to climb up, or you can get a ladder and you can climb down and sit in there with them and tell them it's going to be all right. So all I did was there's lots of things I did, but I'm going to give you, when people say, give me five, I'll give you the 5 reasons what I did that made me better. And if they help you, that's great. So first of all, number one, don't get in the ring. And don't get in the ring means those people that want to fight you. Some people wake up in the morning and just want to cause havoc. They just they're happy with hostility, and they're happy with arguments, and they'll prod you. And that could be your own partner, your children, your in-laws, not your head teacher because she's beautiful, but colleagues, parents, they're the one, governors, they're all out there. The latest Ofsted guidelines, they're all out to trip you up. And I haven't drank alcohol for 21 years, and I'm an active member of Alcoholics Anonymous. I've been a recovering alcoholic for 21 years, and within AA I have a little Glaswegian sponsor called Alex, and Alex is always saying, don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Because see if you do get in the ring, I'm not knocking you. You'll fight anybody. See if you do get in the ring. It's full of traps we know nothing about. So don't get in the ring means just don't entertain them. People are happy in conflict. They're happy in chaos. They're happy in drama. Let them get on with it. And sometimes they'll be goading you. I'm not getting in the ring. And just walk on. Secondly, number 2, is it happening today? And if it's not happening today, don't worry about it. I spent all my life, 5 decades, of worrying about the past, or, clearing the wreckage of my future, trying to deal with all the imaginary things that weren't going to happen, all the things that had happened inside my head. And I was tortured, absolutely tortured. But today, I've got a God of my own understanding. It's a beautiful, gentle God that loves me unconditionally. And he's got to deal with me. So David, I'll tell you what, mate, if you remember, this is the day the Lord has created. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. I'll look after you today, mate, in the best I can. You're allowed to go into the past and delve into past relationships and arguments you had years ago, and you can go into the future. You can go 12 months ahead and predictive, what's going to happen. But if you do that, I'm not going to be with you. And that's when we come unstuck, and that's when we get sad, and that's when we get lonely. So my God only protects me in the day, and that's all I do. I just live for today. A friend of mine said to me a few weeks ago, how long do you think this COVID will last, David? I said, well, I've heard from a good source. It's going to last till midnight tonight, and there's a good chance it'll be here tomorrow. Are you doing your one day at a time bit? I said, no, mate. I says, I'm not in control of that. All I can deal with is today. And today I'm talking to you on this video. Afterwards, my wife and I go and shopping to Stafford for a few Christmas presents. I'm going to pop and see my mum. I'll come back for dinner, watch a bit of telly. I'm going to an AA meeting tonight. I'm chairing an AA meeting tonight in Rugeley. I'll come back, I'll have a cup of tea and go to bed. That's great. I can deal with that. And most of us can deal with whatever's in the day. And it is, give us this day our daily bread. It's there. We've been told all the time to keep it in the day, but we don't. So that's the first thing. Is it happening today? And if it's not happening today, don't worry about it. Secondly, on from that is control the controllable. There's certain things that are out of your control. Brexit, COVID, the length of your daughter's hair, the next door neighbour's son who parks his car slightly over your drive, the man at the top of the garden who's let his hedge go too long, whatever. All those things are nothing to do with you. And don't get involved because you're getting in the ring. All I do is control the controllable. And it's hard. You've got to practice at it. And we're not in control of what anybody says to us, but we're in control of our actions or reactions to what they say. And because I don't get in the ring, I control the controllable. And it's hard, and I'm working on it on a daily basis, but you can do it. Fourth, have an attitude of gratitude. It's impossible, it's absolutely impossible to be grateful and anxious at the same time. Try it. Try and worry about something really bad and then think, thank you for having a God in my life. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my sobriety. Thank you that I've got clean water to drink. Thank you that I've got a lovely house. Thank you. And when you're thanking all that, you can't think about the bad things. It's true. Most nights I get down and I physically write a gratitude list. 20 little items and just write them down. When you get stuck, I can hear, I can see, I can taste, I can do buttons up, whatever. Just be grateful. And then the final one, and this is the one you've got to listen to. I'm going to give you the secret to life. Are you impressed? And I'm going to give you the secret to life in 3 words. And if you remember these three words, your life will be transformed. You ready? Honest? Ready? Fear tells lies. Just remember that. Fear tells lies. And that's the greatest bit of advice I've ever had in my 57 years on this planet. Fear tells lies. Fear will tell you that you're no good. Fear will tell you that you can't teach. Fear will tell you that Ofsted's going to fail you next time. Fear will tell you that you're going to fail your next observation. Fear will tell you that parents don't like you. Fear will tell you that your assessment's not good enough. It goes on and on and on. Fear will tell you that you no longer look the way you do. Fear will tell you that the partner doesn't love you anymore. Fear will tell you the children are going to grow up and it goes on. Stop it. The only things we're born with, there's 2 fears we're born with. There's a fear of falling over and the fear of loud noises. Everything else we generate ourselves. And what we can do, we can program our brain because we can almost predict what's going to happen next year. And if we're that good at predicting, why don't we flip it on its edge? COVID's going to be finished in February time. This vaccine's going to really take off. COVID's going to be a thing of the past. All the tears are going to come down. Work's going to get back. I think online Zoom might be a thing because that might eliminate people that take a bit of traffic off the road. We never think that way. We just think of doom and gloom, but don't, because that's fear. And the reason I know that fear tells lies, because in this little book for children, I actually say to them, just inside there, and it says thank you to David, Mona, Rita, to Mona, Rita and David, thank you for telling me the secret of life. Fear tells lies. And the reason I'm saying this, for 30 odd years I've written poems, but I never had them published because I know they weren't good enough. In my head, that little voice told me that. And I've had them published and children love them. I've sold, from the confines of my own little house here, I've sold 1,500 copies and there's loads more to go. I've given up a job to follow this as a career because I believe in it. Because I'm no longer... Fear was almost like an estranged fiancée of mine and I don't listen to her anymore. We've split up, I've told her to go and I don't want to see her anymore. She's really bad for me. And of all of you, if you have a relationship with fear, just tell them it's not working. And I tell you what they'll do, they've got no loyalty fear. When you give up on them and say I don't, they'll just move on to somebody else and cripple them. So that's what you've got to do. So finally, before we go, if your literacy leader's in the room, is he or she there? There you are, right. Peter Pants, Quentin the Squirrel. If you need a good poetry workshop, if you need children to be engaged within poetry, get boys to write, boys writing, get boys into reading. If you need a bit of that, that's what you need to do. So, have a lovely, lovely Christmas. I hope this has made a bit of sense to you. But we'll just have a quick recap before we go. Number 1, don't get in the ring. It's full of traps that we know nothing about. Secondly, is it happening today? If it's not happening today, we don't get involved. But just don't give it. Somebody said to me once, if you're not going, in 5 years' time, if you're not going to spend 5 minutes worrying about it in 5 minutes, if you're not going to spend 5 minutes worrying about it in 5 years' time, don't give it any credence today. Number 3, control the controllable. Number 4, have an attitude of gratitude. And 5, fear tells lies. I love you all soon, and hopefully I'll come and see you in the new year. But until then, have a great Christmas, have a great rest, and I promise you, 2021 is going to be the best year we've ever known. Trust me. I love you all. Take care and God bless you all. Bye-bye now.